Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Impact Wrestling Press Pass. Thank you all for joining us, especially kind of this last minute. We appreciate you being here because we're so excited to talk about Rebellion 2022 that is happening April 23rd, this Saturday. I am so excited. And I think this is the one match, the two people that we have on the Press Pass today that everyone has been waiting for. It is, I know I've been waiting for this because I think everyone wants to see this former X Division champion and the former Impact World Champion beat Moose this Saturday. Please help me welcome Josh Alexander.
Hey guys, yes, former Impact World Champion, former X Division champion.
Yeah. Knife in a little bit.
Yeah, you just give me a little bit more motivation for April 23rd. No big deal.
Great. Wherever that motivation comes from, but I'm sure Moose has given you already a lot of reasons to win that Impact World Champion and get your revenge. And here's your competitor and the Impact World Champion currently. Moose, welcome to Press Pass.
Thank you. And Gail, I don't need you to give me any motivation. I'm just that damn good.
Okay. Well, you're quite confident going in. And personally, I feel like you played a little dirty. If you're that good, why did you have to cash that in right in that moment? I mean, I think I watched that moment happen a good 20 times after that pay-per-view because I was just taken aback by the evil.
I mean, that's not playing dirty. I did what anybody would have done. I did what Josh himself would have done. I mean, Josh sits here and acts like he's all kind of noble and, well, I'm a good guy, but I don't buy that bull crap because if he was in my shoes, he would have done the exact same thing I did to him at Bound for Glory. So just that's the game is played, and as a former competitor, you would have done the same thing. And but if I do it, I'm the bad guy. I'm playing it dirty, But it is what it is. I don't mind. And by the way, I hate not to be a gentleman. Josh, how's your wife doing?
Oh, now you're getting a little dirty now, Moose.
Oh, this is really nice. Moose is speaking for myself. He's speaking for Gail. It's weird. You want to say that we would have done this if we were in the same situation? I understand why you did it. Like, I totally understand in hindsight because you were in the company for 6-7 years and you're never able to become Impact World Champion. And somehow I did it in my first 3 years in the company and you were jealous and you just took advantage of an opportunity. An opportunity came to you and, you used it. All the power to you. Everything you do after that, that's just fine. But, the integrity and the nobility and all this stuff you want to make fun of, I think that's the only currency that human beings really have in this day and age. Money, success, all that stuff that can come at the expense of integrity. But if you hold on to that integrity and you achieve things like the world championship along the way, then it's that much sweeter. But you wouldn't know anything about that. Don't worry about my wife.
Okay. Well,
I will say, Moose, I don't know if I would have crossed that line of getting that personal with the family. But I will say one other thing before you say anything, Moose. I will say, at least I know your wife, Jade, is very tough. She comes from the wrestling business, so it's not like it's her first rodeo.
That is right. Yeah, she's just fine, and it's a little extra motivation, a little more frustration and anger for me. That's all it is.
Now you're gonna have two people, and maybe his son, who's quite the wrestling enthusiast, come after you, Moose. So you got a whole family against you. But okay, let's get on to the reason why we're here. We're here for Press Pass. And so first we're going to have Jerry from Sports Matters TV. Here we go. We've got Jerry online. No? Do we have Jerry? There he is. Hi, Jerry.
Hey guys.
Hey, Jerry.
Thanks for your time this evening.
Jerry, because you spell it with a G. Is it Jerry?
A G, yeah, G.
Okay. So it's Jerry.
It is.
Okay.
Not short for Jeremiah, Gerard.
Okay.
Guys, a lot of harsh words there to start off. I'm just wondering, between both of you, do you have any admiration or anything you like about each other before you go into Saturday? Or is it pure going to be hatred, passion, and just all out brawling? Is there any kind of respect between you that that we're looking forward to?
Well, let's
Uh,
start with.
as I actually don't hate Josh. I mean, I think Josh is a swell guy. He's obviously a family man who would hate that. This is the thing. Everybody thinks I hate Josh. I don't hate Josh. If Josh was Jesus Christ, I would have done the exact same thing that I have been doing. That's just who I am. Like, it's no hatred. It's not. I don't despise him. It's just business, and that's what I do when it comes down to keeping my world title. So it's just it's just bad that Josh is the guy that's getting all the things that I'm doing, but it could have been anybody. In fact, Gail, I love you, but it could have been you, and I would have done the exact same thing. It's just I have no conscience. It doesn't matter who's in front of me. I'm gonna do what I need to do to keep what I have. Hopefully that answers your question.
Fair point, Josh.
Any respect I would have had for, or did have for Moose over, the past decade of knowing him as a professional wrestler and, as a gifted athlete has gone out the window in the last few months, seeing how desperate he is, keep his world championship. So no.
Wow. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
your question. Next, we're going to go to Count It Out with Mike and Tyler.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. First of all, Gail, thank you so much. As a fellow Torontonian, big fan of your entire career. Josh, obviously, I've followed you for a long time. But my question's for Moose. Moose, you've been the Impact champion for close to 200 days now. You've had successful title defenses against some of the top talent in the world, including the current NWA and Impact Digital Media champion, Matt Cardona. Do you feel like the wrestling world is giving you the respect that your body of work has produced over the last couple of years?
I don't care what the wrestling world have to say about anything I've done. I only care about what I'm doing. So if they like it, they like it. If they hate it, they hate it. I don't pay attention to that. So.
And then Josh, just real quick for you, obviously being from Toronto, I've followed your career for a very long time. We're seeing yourself excel right now. We're seeing people like Speedball Mike Bailey excel right now. Is there anybody else on the Ontario, Toronto scene that you think would be a great fit in Impact Wrestling?
I mean, there's a lot of names that I know personally from especially the Ontario area that I think could find success, in the television company and professional wrestling scene like Impact. Alexia Nicole stands out as like a knockout, somebody that I could see, competing in the knockouts division, or somebody like Psycho Mike, who, has had a kind of up and down career, but he's done some stuff with WXW in Germany recently and stuff like that. I think he's one of the most entertaining wrestlers I've ever seen or been in the ring with. So
Appreciate it, guys. Best of luck on the weekend. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Count It Out with Mike and Tyler, who come all the way from Canada. And listen, we have media from all over the world, from America, Canada, Mexico, Europe, all over, India. And so next we're going to have someone from Italy. So we're going to go to Francesco from the last minute. Welcome from Italy.
Hi, Gail. Hi, Moose. Hi, Josh. Yeah, from Italy. How unusual is that? I had the chance to interview Joshua Alexander a few days ago. It was a pleasure. And when we were discussing this upcoming match, he told me that it doesn't feel like this is a rematch because to him, at least, the first one didn't count. I wanted to know from Moose if he thinks of this encounter the same way, and how is he preparing for this match? I guess someone who is really, really pissed off.
I mean, hopefully Josh has his emotions in check because he wouldn't want to get sent home again. But fortunately, I might be sending him home due to injury. Because that's what I've done. I've done it so many times before, and Saturday night I might just be doing it again. I'm not preparing for Josh. I'm doing the exact same thing I do when I prepare for any of our opponents. I hit the gym hard. I have sparring sessions. In fact, that's why I got a cut to my face. Is doing some in-ring stuff with opponents, getting ready for Josh. And I do this when I'm getting ready for any title match or any match. I go in the ring and I jump around and I have sparring sessions. And I mean, so it's like Bill Belichick says, a guy who coached me, is business as usual. And that's what I'm looking at Saturday night, business as usual.
What about you, Josh?
I mean, the training never changes for me. I think what I've done or been able to do in a ring, especially since joining Impact, over 3 years ago, I've done nothing but excel in that ring with whoever I've been in the ring with, and I've never, met a challenge that has made me want to change my outlook on preparing for matches. So, until that day comes, it will not change. It's business as usual, as Moose says. I can agree on that.
Thank you, Francesco. And
Thank you very
I have
much.
to say that you guys, I will say, and I have to let everyone know out there, all the wrestling fans and enthusiasts, that these two are two of the hardest working guys in the company. And it shows why they're here in this moment for this match and eventing the pay-per-view. So kudos to both of you guys. You both have worked tremendously hard for years now. And I can respect that. Okay, thank you, Francesco. We're gonna go next to France and we're gonna have Stephanie from Steel Chair. Okay, let's see here. I see her picture. Okay. Okay. Stephanie, are you there? I see you now.
Yes, I am.
There you go. Welcome
Hi,
back.
Gail. How are you?
Good to see you again.
And Josh and Moose, of course. Nice to see you again. The war storyline is really about emotions and everything that comes with it. For you, Moose, we feel like since the EC3 match, Born for Glory, not last year, but the year, something has changed for you. And you feel like this match was like a turning point for you on the way you manage your emotions in the ring and all these things.
I couldn't really hear you, but I think I got the gist of your question. The match I had with EC3 was definitely a turning point. It definitely did change something on how I perceive wrestling and how I perceive getting ready for wrestling. And it shows. I mean, some might say I'm a little bit darker now, and some might say I'm a little bit more menacing now. But that's up to them to create whatever narrative they want to create about me. But it definitely did change something about me. I can't tell you what it is. I can't give away that secret because then everybody will want to be like me or try to be like me. But it definitely did change something about me. And that's why I've been Impact World Champion, like the last person said, for over 200 days now. So, and going to be longer after Saturday night, unfortunately, for Josh Alexander.
And for you, Josh, it's also dealing with all these emotions, and you showed it on TV because Moose came to your family, attacked the family, etc. Do you think that it could be your worst enemy coming to the match? All these emotions and all this anger that you've had through the last few months.
I can't say I know how it's going to affect me at Rebellion on April 23rd because I've honestly never been pushed to a point where I've had all these things, come into factor and come into play leading into a match before. So I have no idea how I'm going to react and how it's going to affect me. But, all the emotions and all the anger and all that stuff, I've felt those kind of things before, never to this extent. They've always been something that has motivated me and carried me through. And, I can't say whether or not it's going to do me a disservice or not, but hopefully it doesn't. And hopefully cooler heads will prevail by the end of the match and I can keep focused. So I can bring that world championship home for not just me, but for, every fan that supported me and my wife and kids as well.
Trust me when I say that the fans will be the winner this weekend, because you two and the match between you two is just, it's going to be magic. And just a match, it's a pure, we're all going to be winners, whoever won the belt. So thank you very much.
I agree, Stephanie. Thank you so much. Next, we're going to have Craig from Total Nonstop Impact. A little play on.
Hello.
Hi, Craig. How are you?
Fine, thank you. So my question is for both Josh and Moose. Regardless as to who wins this Saturday, is there anyone, whether it be on the independents, free agency, Forbidden Door, or currently on the Impact roster, that you look at and think, yeah, if I walk out on Saturday as world champion, that's who I want as my first contender?
I'll be honest, I don't watch any other product other than Impact Wrestler, so I can't answer that question. We have a tremendous roster of guys who could step up to the plate and challenge for my world championship. So after I beat Josh Saturday, I'm looking forward to the next competitor from the Impact roster to step up to get their ass whooped too.
Yeah,
Way.
nothing about Rebellion on April 23rd is going to be easy. I don't think me defeating Moose is going to be an easy task for me. It's not something that I'm looking past at all. I'm not looking forward to, any competitors or anybody challenging me if I do win on April 23rd yet. I just think it would be a foolish thing to do on my part, because Moose, with all his shortcomings, he is still the world champion. He's still one of the best wrestlers in the world. So I just won't even look past that.
No, and obviously there's a lot of people coming in and out, so it could be anyone.
Thank you, Craig.
Thanks. Thank you a lot. Thank you. Bye.
Next, we're going to have Aranova. I want to pronounce this right, so you can correct me. Aranova from Sportskeeda. Please tell me how to say that. I would never want to mess someone's name up.
It's Arunava.
Arunava, thank you. You can go ahead with your question.
Yep.
Josh or not.
First of all, it's a great honor to talk to three of you. So my first question will be for Moose. In Impact Wrestling, we have seen world champions chase multiple titles before. We have seen Bobby Lashley do that, Kurt Angle do that. If you can defeat Josh Alexander at Rebellion, is that something you want to do as well? Maybe challenge Cardona or someone?
To answer your question, no. The reason being, I think the whole belt collector thing is played out. It's stupid. It's not special. Everybody does it. I want to be the guy that holds one title and defends that one title as long as possible. Because, like I said, the whole belt collector thing died when Austin Aries did it, and it's not special anymore. And I just don't want to be another guy being like, oh, I collect 6 titles from 6 different companies. It's played out. It's stupid. It's not special. I don't look at it and think, oh, you're a great wrestler because you hold 6 titles, and I don't want to be that guy. So, no, I don't want to beat anybody else for their title. I just want to defend my Impact World Championship, the most prestigious championship in professional wrestling.
Very nice.
Great. One quick question for you, Josh. Recently, you informed us that you have resigned with Impact Wrestling, and you are going to be here for a long time now. Could you just tell us any specific reason for you to resign with Impact?
I love Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling gave me an opportunity as a professional wrestler when every other company had turned me down or overlooked me. And, I think now, over 3 years later, I've made the best of that opportunity that they gave me. And I wanted to, even though I may have had other options, at my disposal, I chose loyalty. I'm very happy here. I'm not done here by any stretch. And I want this brand to grow, and I would like to grow with it. And I think we can do that. So this is the place I want to be.
Thank
Great.
you, Nova. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I agree
Thank
with both of you guys. I've been very loyal to this company, and I think, we are very much fighting for the same thing. And I think that we've all been able to have this platform to show what we can do as professional wrestlers, and we're all so grateful. So next up, we have Sam from SoundSphere.
Hi guys, can you hear me okay?
Yes, Sam.
I'm always completely starstruck when I come on here, first of all by Gail, then I see the competitors as well. So every time, it never changes every time I do this. This is a bit of a tough one really. So back in the day when Impact, before Impact was Impact and it was TNA, TNA would sell out some rather large arenas. And Impact at the moment seems to be having its time in the sun again. Since the pandemic started easing off, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal, and it's amazing to be a fan or a reporter to see. What do you think, Josh and Moose? What do you think Impact needs to do to get back to much larger venues, and how do you feel about that?
Honestly, I just worry about the wrestling side of it. I'm not in the office. I'm not in those meetings. My opinion in that side of it doesn't matter, so I don't even want to bother giving it. I just want to concentrate on doing the in-ring stuff and being the best performer, or one of the best performers in the world. So I can't answer that question because that's out of my pay zone or pay rate. So.
Josh, do you have a
I mean,
response?
I can try to answer it the best I can. Like, I think that it's in Impact's best interest to continue to grow our roster like we have. We have a complete locker room of knockouts and guys and everybody that has a chip on our shoulder. We're ready to prove the world that, we're one of the best companies out there in the ring and, with everything else. So I think that's the first step. We've compiled that roster and now it's just about getting eyes on it and retaining all those fans. And I think that's why you've seen growth over the past, 3-4 years. And I think it's going to continue.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And I really hope it does, because that's a lot of fans that we can't wait. We love what you're doing and we can't wait just to see it keep growing and, take on some of the other guys in a really meaningful way. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm on board for that as well. I've seen this company go through its ups and downs. And let me just tell you, the team that we have right now, the talent that we have right now and the way that it's going, I'm very happy that fans are starting to give us a chance again. And they're very happy. And I feel like we're almost, even though we may be seen as the underdog in a lot of ways, I think we're kind of at the heart of wrestling. A lot of people want to be here. A lot of people thrive in our company, and now the fans get to see our hard work on screen. It's great. Thank you so much, Sam. Next, we're going to have Joseph Galizia. You there, Joseph?
Yes, hi, how you doing, guys?
Hi, sorry if I'm butchering names today, guys.
Oh, Gail, you knocked it out of the park. Congrats. Good to see you. Josh and Moose, good to see both of you. I know you're both preparing steadily for your big match on Saturday. My question is for both competitors, but I'm going to aim it towards Josh. Josh, in 2021, you had this great Iron Man match with TJP. It was one of the most talked about matches, not only in Impact, but in the wrestling industry at the time. My question, without revealing strategy against Moose, do you feel that going longer in your matchup or drawing Moose's energy out further into the matchup is going to benefit you, or are you trying to look to win this matchup as soon as possible?
I can't really say what my strategy is going to be going into this match specifically, but I can say that throughout my entire 17-year career, no matter who I've been in the ring with, like over 1,500 matches, I have yet to meet a single competitor that has a bigger gas tank than me in that ring. So I don't care how much of Division I football player athlete Moose was in his heyday. When it comes to being a professional wrestler in that 20 by 20 square circle, I don't think he can match me as time keeps going. So I think that works to my advantage. Yes.
Josh, thank you so much for the answer. Moose, same question to you. Do you feel like conditioning at any point is going to be an issue? I know you're in tremendous shape, but we haven't seen you go 30, 40, 50 minutes, at least in a world title defense yet.
Because I haven't needed to go 30, 40 minutes. I don't need 30 minutes opponent. So that's why you haven't seen it. And You want a game plan? I'm gonna hit Josh very hard, and I'm gonna hit him with the match. That's my game plan. So there you go.
Well, that's why
Can't
you're the
wait.
wrestling god. That's why you're the wrestling god, the world champ. Good luck to you both on Saturday. Thank you very much for having me. And Gail, thank you for hosting as always.
Thanks, Joseph. Appreciate you. Now we have Ashley from TWM News. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Gail. First of all, honored to be here with you. First time I've interacted with you. Josh, Moose, I've interviewed both of you. As far as you know, with everyone, I definitely agree by saying that you two are some of the strongest competitors, especially for Impact Wrestling. My question for you is, it's going to go for both of you, both Moose and Josh. There's a lot of talk about Speedball Bailey. Moose, you had a great match with them at the Revolver show. Would you be down to rematch Bailey win, you retain, or Josh, if you win? The other question is there any concern with Honor No More being there at Impact, being in your home territory? Both of you bring, anything, any concerns with them?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Mike Bailey proved this past weekend that he's a formidable and great competitor. He has a lot of heart, and sure, I'll be down to wrestle him again. I mean, it's going to be the same outcome. He's going to lose. And to answer your question, there's a reason why I'm the one guy Honor No More hasn't messed with, and you could put two and two together on why that is. And I'm not saying I'm part of Honor No More. I think they're just smart and they know that I'm the one guy in Impact Wrestling they don't want to mess with, because messing with me just comes with a whole nother evil. And Josh experienced that, and I'm sure nobody in Honor No More is going to want to go through what Josh has went through the last few weeks and months. So.
As for me, I was the table that Mike Bailey signed his Impact contract on. He literally signed his contract on my back. And when he did that, somebody interviewed me and asked me if I'd like to face him. And I said, inevitably, I think he's going to be the one in the hunt for, the world championship. He's going to be hot on my trail, as somebody challenging or, whatever in the future. And I think, he's done that in a real short period of time. And he's well deserving of all the opportunities and matches he can get. And when it does happen, because it inevitably will, I think it's going to be one of the best matches, Impact Wrestling's ever produced. And yeah, what was the second part of the question? The Honor No More part? I think it's foolish for Moose to say that, they don't want to, mess with him or whatever. They're too smart to mess with him. I think that they've just been working their way up the ladder, and inevitably that's going to be a thing that, comes in his way, whether or not he is champion or not at that time. And when that time does come, Moose is going to look around and he's going to see that he's alienated himself from an entire locker room that's going to be there to get his back when he has 5 people in Honor No More that are going to have a problem with him. So, everybody needs a friend eventually. And I think Moose needs to remember that, because he's going to be left all alone in the cold with 5 people wanting to kick his ass eventually if he's going to think like that. So,
there's a saying in wrestling, everyone you see on your way up are the same people you're going to see on your way down. So you got to be nice to everybody, they say. But, I guess, Moose, you're not in that headspace.
I mean, I agree, thank you, all you, for your time. And I agree definitely with my peers, Stephanie at Still Chair, who I've worked with before, and Craig. When I say that Rebellion is definitely going to be for the fans, all of Impact faithful, and they're the winners at the end of the day. All of us are. So either way, thank you both.
Thank you, Ashley. And I agree about Mike Bailey too. I am super impressed. This guy has just popped on I know he's been on the independent radar for a long time, but just wow. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for him in Impact Wrestling, because he's been having match contenders of the year numerous times already this year. So starting off 2022 really, really great. So thank you, Stephanie. We're going to go to Ross next, who is part of Impact Wrestling, but he's got some fan Facebook questions.
What's up, guys? Greetings from Poughkeepsie already. So things are getting going up here.
How's the weather?
Today is beautiful. Sunshine.
Okay.
Sitting in the car, just finished up a promotion.
Are you zooming and driving right now, Ross?
No, I'm not driving there, Moose. I'm smart. Come on.
Okay.
Park, I'm sitting here. But yes, I am in the car. So we had a question. We have two questions that I want to get to. First one comes from Timothy, and this one's for Josh. He'd like to know about your preparation for this match, how you're approaching this one on a preparation front, as opposed to your match against Christian Cage.
Oh, wow. Great question.
I mean, the preparation's kind of been the same. I've definitely tuned in my diet, honestly, compared to I was in October. Like I'm probably 10 pounds heavier, but I'm a few percent body fat leaner for this one. Like I'm in the best shape of my life for this one as compared to that one. But other than that, the training all stays the same.
All right, then we go to a question from Michael. It's a question for both of you guys. We'll start with Josh. Josh, do you design your own ring gear? And then the question for Moose was, Moose, talk to us about your robes. Are you going to have a special one for Rebellion this Saturday night?
I do design all my own ring gear. I have for my entire 17 years, and yeah, that's it.
Moose?
You're gonna have to order the pay-per-view to find out what I'm gonna do.
Very good. Very good. Very good answer. So don't forget, guys, Poughkeepsie, New York, this weekend, Friday and Saturday, 23rd and the 24th. Doors are open at 6:30 p.m. and then 7:30 p.m. is when we start the show. And there are going to be 2 free title matches before the pay-per-view. It's going to be the X Division title match and the Knockouts Tag Team World. I messed that up. The Knockouts World Tag Team Championship title match with the Influence and Inspiration. So that's going to be a reason to tune into the pre-show. So now we're going to have George from the What Do You Call It podcast. Hi, George. Oh, we can't hear you. Are you on mute?
Hello, everyone. Sorry,
There
I'll try that
you
again.
are.
Hope everyone's doing well. Looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be awesome. My question relates to a recent match that took place not so long ago. Josh Alexander teamed up with Jonah and Moose teamed up with PCO. So I want to ask you both, if you could pick an opponent for each person before the big pay-per-view that you would think would soften up your opponent, who would you pick from the Impact roster to face, and maybe why as well? Maybe some reason to it.
Gail Kim.
There we go. Thank you, everyone.
That you said that because I think that was supposed to happen, but something, and I can't get into that, but we had to have this tag match instead. But if I was to pick somebody to wrestle Josh, I think I would probably pick Alex Shelley, because in my opinion, he's a great technical wrestler, and he's in the same alley and same style as Josh. And I think he will soften Josh up a little bit. But I don't need him to soften Josh up. I want Josh comes to that pay-per-view 110%, because when I beat him, it just shows how great I am. But if answer your question, if I was to pick an opponent, I would probably pick Alex Shelley.
Good answer.
That is a good answer. Josh.
Over the course of the past 6 months, from when Moose cashed in and became Impact World Champion all the way till now, everybody saw, Suzuki, Jonah, Charlie Haas, everybody come out and challenge me. And it was all these it was like a Mortal Kombat stage of me having to beat different people to get back to this world championship thing. But the thing is, along the way with each and every one, I learned something new about myself, that I could apply to my wrestling game and stuff, like Suzuki with just like the strikes and the forearms and stuff like that. And specifically, I'm going to highlight Jonah here. I would pick Jonah for Moose because, in my time here in Impact Wrestling and probably my entire career, I've never been in the ring with someone quite like Jonah. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, he's imposing. And, he, even more than that, he has like a certain level of heart that I can respect, regardless of how, vicious and violent he might be. I can respect what he does in that ring. And I think that he would have Moose's number if he got the opportunity. So I would like to see that.
Good answer, lads. I'm looking forward to the big fight. I think it's going to be a match of the year contender, but I don't think you guys care about what the critics think. I think you just both want the victory. So good luck, guys.
Thank you, George. I agree. Those are two great opponents that you guys chose. Okay, next we're going to go back to France, and we have Lucas from BL Media.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Gail. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer my questions. I would not like to be in your position, Gail, because you're caught in the middle of between two of the most hardest worker in Impact Wrestling. So tough position to be in. My first question will be for Josh Alexander. I wanted to know, Josh, do you consider yourself as the underdog for this match, considering the fact that Moose, the Impact World Champion, hasn't lost a singles match in Impact Wrestling since July 2021? What's the difference between you and all of the other wrestlers that Moose has beaten in the past?
I think that, especially in pro wrestling, anybody challenging the world champion would be an underdog. There's something called the champion's advantage, and it will always be there. It's there for Moose at Rebellion on April 23rd. So yes, I would consider myself, an underdog. The thing that makes me different than everybody else Moose has beaten is, I think Moose's journey to, the heights that he's reached now has been the complete opposite of my journey. My journey has been 17 years of scratching, clawing, persevering, and, everything else to get me to this point. Whereas Moose, he won the genetic lottery at birth, and he was 6'6", and he was a 5-star athlete and all this stuff. So, he had a much easier route to get here, but nonetheless, here we both are main eventing Rebellion on April 23rd. And I think the thing that makes me special compared to everybody else is after that 17 years of all that stuff, the perseverance, I said, I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned I have an amount of heart that a lot of people don't have. I have learned that when other people stop, I keep going. So I think that's what's going to surprise Moose on April 23rd. And, no matter how hard he says he's going to hit me and how hard he says he's going to slam me, keeping me down is something that hasn't been quite easy for anybody for the past 17 years. So
I agree. And Moose, you won the Impact World title in sevenths against, Josh, against Josh Alexander at Bound for Glory last October. You plan on defending your title, against him at Rebellion, in what will be only your second match against one another, your second singles match against one another. Moose, how do you plan on defeating a fully prepared, 100% focused Josh Alexander? Because, and with all due respect, he won a tag team match against you at Multiverse of Matches, so he's gonna have a mindset advantage maybe ahead of Saturday.
Honestly, I don't even remember what happened in multiverse of matches or whatever you want to call it. That's how far gone I had from that weekend. And how am I going to beat Josh this Saturday? I'm going to hit him in the teeth. I'm going to punch him in the face, and I'm going to hit him with a spear. That's how I'm going to beat him. Same thing I'm doing with everybody. The exact same thing is going to happen to Josh. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, like I've said before, Josh is one of the best wrestlers in the world, but there's a reason why they call me the wrestling guy.
I'm very looking forward to this match. Thank you so much, Gail, for hosting this, and best of luck for you two for Saturday. Thank you very much.
Lucas. Kind of seems like you guys have a little bit of two different game plans here. I feel like Moose is playing the mind games and Josh is ready physically. Josh, don't let that mental game distract you on Saturday.
I'm doing my best.
Although you have been wrestling as long as I did wrestle. I didn't realize you were wrestling that long. So I'm so glad I got to see.
Leave wife and kids at home, because that's probably be smart at this point of the game, of this point, right? Leave the kids and wife at home. I know you say that they're your motivation, but I've done this. I've been doing this for a very long time, even though it's not been professional wrestling. And motivations tends to be distractions. And if you have your kids and family in Kissimmee, New York on Saturday, I guarantee you they're going to distract you, and I'm going to end up being and still Impact World Champion. That's the only advice I'm going to give you. Your motivations tends to be your distractions. That's why I don't have any motivation. I motivate myself because I know I won't distract myself.
I'm sorry, Moose. Were you saying something? I completely tuned you out there.
I guess the mind games aren't working right now on Zoom. Okay, we're gonna go to Zachary Perez next. Zachary, you online?
Hi there.
Hi.
Can you guys hear me? I thank you, Gail. Thank you, Josh and Moose, for having me. So my first question is going to be for you, Moose. It actually kind of goes right off of what you were saying there. With you having a man with revenge kind of as his main focus going into the pay-per-view, do you see that more as a weakness or as an advantage for Josh going into Rebellion?
I mean, because his mind is all over the place, and what he should be thinking about right now is being Impact World Champion. But I'm sure in his mind, I have to get revenge for him hitting my wife, or I have to get revenge for him coming to my house, and all that stuff is distractions. And that's exactly why I'm going to be and still Impact World Champion. He can't say that to me. I have no distractions. I'm going in there with a fresh mindset. Business as usual, just another Saturday to me. But he has a lot of things in his mind, a lot of things to fight for, and all those things are just distractions.
I see. Okay. And for you, Josh, you've stated in the past how you don't like to see how Impact is kind of treated like a stepping stone at times. With a statement victory over Christian and then possibly here over Moose at Rebellion, where would you go from here to kind of propel the Impact World Championship to new heights going forward?
I think just being the champion this company needs and deserves. I think we need a champion that's going to take that title around the world and, defend it against the very best, successfully defend it against the very best that any company or anybody has to offer. And then that goes for our locker room too. If Eddie Edwards or, Eric Young or Steve Macklin or anybody wants to challenge for that world championship, I think we need to do it on the biggest stage in the best way possible. And we need to do it in the ring with the best matches, because I think that, the product we can put in the ring is the most easily, highlighted part of our wrestling company. So I think it's only going to do us a benefit if we have a champion that's going to, carry that title and defend it properly.
That makes perfect sense to me. I'm really looking forward to it. And everybody has said, I think the wrestling fans are going to be a winner. And I think that I speak for everybody over at Pro Wrestling Post and all the wrestling fans when I say we're looking forward to the match. So thank you guys for taking my question, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you. So next we're going to take Nathan from Body Slams and Dropkicks podcast.
Hey guys, Gail, it is an honor and a pleasure to be here with both of you. Moose, my first question is for you, and it comes from everybody with love at Body Slams and Dropkicks. We would like to casually remind you and the Impact audience all around the world that the last time we were here and talked to Mr. Alexander up there, he won the Impact World Championship. Are you personally afraid, now that we're here, that lightning will strike twice?
I don't even know who you are, so why would I be afraid? Hopefully that answers your question.
But see, sir, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. If you don't even know who we are, then that means you could be underestimating us, just like you could be underestimating Mr. Alexander. Josh, my question to you, sir, because Canadian to Canadian, one Canadian to another, you are an inspiration to our country, sir, everything you've went through in your career. When you look at Moose and you look at everything that he has done with that Impact World Championship, what is going to be the inspiration for you, the X factor, in order to persevere over Moose?
The X factor in me persevering over Moose. Moose has, stated that I have a lot of distractions behind me. I have said they're motivating factors, everything to do with, my wife and my son seeing me at the lowest low of my career, being in the ring with me when that championship was ripped out of my hands by Moose was a motivating factor enough. And then you add on everything else after that. I think that's all going to be the motivating factor for me. That's all going to be the thing that, makes me, not want to stay down when others would. So, I think it's going to work to my benefit. Moose calls it a distraction, but if I go into this match with all these distractions around and I still am somehow able to beat the wrestling god, what does that say about those distractions? And what does that say about me?
Absolutely. So I hope both of you are at your best. Rebellion looks fantastic. Thank you for all of us. And if you aren't going to be watching on pay-per-view, I'm sure you'll be watching on the #1 app in all of sports entertainment in a few months, the Impact Plus app. Thank you so much for your time, guys.
So much, Nathan. Appreciate it. Next, we're going to go to Mateo from Zone Wrestling.
Hi guys.
Hi, Mateo.
Okay, I'm from Italy. I follow Impact Wrestling from my beautiful country, and I have a question for Josh. What champion would you like to be for Impact Wrestling? And if you lose on Saturday, what would be next for you?
What was the first part of your question? Sorry.
What champion would you like to be for Impact Wrestling?
Would I like to beat?
To be.
Be?
Sorry.
What kind of champion he would like to be?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. No, like my whole career, everything before I started wrestling, like the people I looked up to, like you're talking about like Bret Hart in like the 90s, and you're talking about, you know, the AJ Styles, the Samoa Joes of the early TNA days and all this other stuff. Like these are the guys that I thought, you know, let their talking happen in the ring. They produced some of the best matches we've ever seen, and those matches have left a lasting impression on me throughout my entire career of fandom and as a professional wrestler. So if one day I can be a world champion and I can have that same effect on, you know, young fans and young aspiring wrestlers growing up, that's the best champion I think I could be.
Okay. Question for Musa. If you had to choose one thing for you, is it more important remain champion at Rebellion or defeat Josh once for all?
Oh, say what?
What's more important? Is the championship title important or just beating Josh?
Like I said, I have no beef with Josh, so I don't hate him. I actually respect him. I think he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. What I'm doing and what I've been doing is just business. So being Impact World Champion is more important than beating Josh because, like I said, Josh is just another good talent that's on the Impact roster.
Okay, thank you. Good luck for Saturday.
Thank you, Matteo. We really appreciate you from Italy, all the way from Italy. Next, we're going to go to New Zealand, even further away. David Dunn from New Zealand, somewhere that I've always, it's on my bucket list. I must visit.
We'd love to have you out here, Gail. It's a wonderful country. I do hope you get a chance to come see it sometime. Yeah, good morning, everyone from New Zealand. Hope you're doing well. My question in this press pass is for you, Josh Alexander. The beats of this rivalry make all the sense in the world when you see them on paper. You know, you win the world championship in a career-defining moment, only to have it snatched away from you. You have to claw your way back into title contention, and now finally you're here, the main event of the pay-per-view for the world title again. But they didn't necessarily unfold in that manner from A to B to C. In the middle of this, you know, there was a contract ran out. A new contract was signed, potentially some issue with a work visa as well. How does it feel then to have got back to this point, knowing all the hurdles, you know, in and out of the ring that you had to go through? And I guess, how did it feel around this time in February when perhaps this end result was maybe not as close on the horizon?
And there was like a certain amount of uncertainty, I suppose, but you know, in my gut, in my heart, the two things, you know, I follow with every decision I make. You know, I knew that this was going to be the inevitability, whether it was Rebellion or Slammiversary or some other time down the road. I knew that I'd be back in Impact Wrestling. I never wanted to leave. You know, I knew this was going to be the place where I continued my career, and then it was just going to be a matter of time until I finally got my rematch for that world championship. And luckily, you know, it all transpired rather quickly, and everything was like shored up very fast. And this match is happening now, you know, in Rebellion on Saturday. So.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for your time this morning, gentlemen. Best of luck for the pay-per-view.
David, appreciate you all the way from New Zealand. Next, we have the UK, and we have David, Bison from the UK, our favorite wrestling country, besides the United States, of course. But this is our very dedicated fan base is from the UK. We've got to get back over there, Impact Wrestling. So the fans got to demand it.
Yeah, that better not be the question.
Best time. Best time.
That would be awesome, to be fair. I'm really looking forward to you guys coming back to the UK. It's been so long that I think the fan base over here are absolutely gagging to get Impact Wrestling back, that's for sure. Now, my question initially is actually for Josh. Now, it's been a long time since I've spoken to you, my friend, so hello, nice to see you. I'm really excited about Rebellion coming up, obviously, this weekend. It's been a long time coming, and I think, I just need to know, what is the kind of main focus on your mind at the moment, Josh? Is the main focus to get that Impact World title, or is it to get revenge? What is it that is your main focus for the main event this Saturday?
I think they go hand in hand. I think the World Championship comes with the revenge, and it's all around that, because the only thing that Moose cares about in this world is that World Championship. Like, unlike myself, I have a wife and children and all these other people that I care about. Moose says he doesn't have any of that. And that's why I've said that I'm going to take the one thing that matters most to him, because he's taken the thing that matters most to me. And that is like a certain amount of my children looking up to me as a father and a wrestler and all this stuff. I need to, defeat Moose to have a certain amount of pride around my kids and my wife again, because they saw the lowest lows at Bound for Glory and everything that they've been involved with since. So yeah, the revenge comes by taking that World Championship from Moose, because it means so much to him. It means everything to him.
And of course, I believe it means pretty much everything to you as well.
Oh, it does mean a great deal to me. It is going to mean a great deal to me, but for me, there's other things at stake, and I think they might actually eclipse being world champion for just a little bit of it.
Okay, Moose, this is a quick one. What do you think you need to do to make sure that you get the win over Josh Alexander this Saturday in the main event of Rebellion?
Same thing I've been doing month in and month out. Just show up and business as usual. No
okay.
And no special training. It's business as usual. One thing I'm very consistent in my work. I'm very consistent in how I prepare, and I don't do too much. I don't do too less. I don't put one competitor over another, and I don't feel like I need to train more because I'm wrestling this guy, or train less because I'm wrestling that guy. I train the same, consistent. So I just have to do what I've been doing, which I have been doing, and show up on Saturday.
Great. Fantastic. Just want to say good luck, guys. I think it's going to be an amazing show this Saturday at Rebellion, and you guys, I think, are just going to absolutely blow the roof off the place. So have a fantastic match. Good luck, guys. I will be watching at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, at any time. Thank you, Bison. That was our
Take
last
care.
question for Press Pass. So I want to thank everyone, all the panelists who came on, and our media friends who came to ask questions, and all the Facebook Live fans who asked their questions as well. Thank you. Yes, we had Moose and Josh on today, who are the main event for the show, April 23rd and April 24th. We also have a show in Poughkeepsie Saturday and Sunday, doors at 6:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. will be when the show actually starts. Don't forget 2 free title matches before the actual Rebellion begins. That'll be the Tag Team World Championship title match and the X Division title match. We actually have, for the whole pay-per-view altogether, 6 title matches on the card, plus more. So you don't want to miss Rebellion. It's going to be a great show. Guys, any last thoughts to all the fans out there? Because there's a lot of pressure, not only for...
I have a question.
They want you to deliver, basically.
I have a question.
Yes.
So Moose said like a bunch of times throughout the entire press pass, every time somebody asked, that he hasn't changed his training methods or anything like that. But I don't think maybe I've been hitting the head a few many times, but I've never seen Moose's face busted up going into a match by a training partner from sparring. So maybe he did change his training a little bit, and maybe he chose to challenging of a sparring partner, because Moose is looking a little worse for wear leading into this match for Rebellion on Saturday.
What do you gotta say, Moose?
I trained somebody different and somebody much tougher than Josh, and so Saturday wrestling Josh is going to be easier than who I trained with just yesterday. So
I see the mental games are starting right now. So thank you guys. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget impactwrestling.com. You can get all the tickets for this weekend, Poughkeepsie in New York, April 23rd and 24th. We'll see you there.